Howdy, it's Jim Morado, and this is the middle of October 2025. We're in Central City, Kentucky, and for what it's worth, I used to stop here all the time when I was younger. My dad, my cousin, my uncle, we would go down to the flea market in Greenville during the summer on Tuesdays. We'd stop in Central City, get a milkshake and a burger on the way home. It was great, and I have not been back to Central City. This was literally probably my first time in Central City in about 2 decades, if not more, probably more than that. And it's a sweet little town. I love it. Always had fun in Central City, and they have put up the Everly Brothers and John Prine monument. It's about a mile off the exit. So went down to Hopkinsville, went to Goblin Con. I'll put up a video about that if I haven't already. But I wanted to stop by and tip my hat to Don, Phil, and John. Love their music for forever, especially John Prine. I'm a huge John Prine fan. I did get to go see, of course, they all have links here. And back for many years, they did the Everly Brothers Homecoming concert, which would attract, what, 20,000 plus people each year. And the Everly Brothers and John Prine were always the headliners. I got to go in '92. I remember you'd park. There was a big bus that would bus you out to the concert. And man, I think that show went to like freaking 2 in the morning. It was crazy. It was great. Kentucky Headhunters were there. I remember being really impressed with them at the time. And, of course, Phil, Don, and John have all passed away now. And they've set up this little memorial to them. And it's really cute. I thought it was very nice. Pretty downtown area, too, by the way. I've got to come back on another day when I can come and just enjoy Central City. Again, I hadn't been here in forever, and it was just nice being back in this part of Western Kentucky. I don't get back here enough. I'm from Owensboro originally, and this is I'm not getting back to Western Kentucky nearly enough. There's some information about the Everlys and their homecoming concert. I know they tried to kind of keep the concert going even after the Everlys retired with some younger people, and they did not attract maybe a tenth of the crowd, and it's not the Everly Brothers, it's not John Prine. They are a big deal. I will say when I heard about the death of John Prine, that hit me really hard. He died around the same time my dad died, and it's just a hard time at that time. And I've just always loved John Prine. He didn't know how to write a bad song. There's the statues. You've got Phil and Don over there on the left. You've got John kind of in front of us there towards the right. Very nice statues, by the way. Feel free to pause this and read those informational plaques if you'd like. But yeah, just a nice little monument. And I was not the only person that stopped here. There was a couple that was here, kind of leaving as I pulled in, and then I saw more people pulling in as I left. This is a monument to definitely bring people in to an area. I think the Everly Brothers and John Prine, if you're going through Kentucky, I think they're significant enough that you're going to drive out of your way a little bit to check that out. I do know, I don't want to name names. I do know of a place that started a bit of a monument for a particular singer, and they've made a big deal out of it. And I don't know if people are going to drive out of the way to see this monument, but we'll see. I hope they do. The small town is, hoping to pull in some visitors for it. But John Prine and the Everly Brothers, I think that's something people will go out of their way to see, as they should. I got to see John Prine solo again in Cleveland when I lived in Cleveland. And yeah, so I only got to see him twice, but man, have I loved John Prine, and I'm not going to go on and on too much about that, but yeah, just a real guy, very uninfluenced in my opinion. He was writing some very original stuff. You hear a John Prine song, you go, that's a John Prine song. That does not sound like Buddy Holly. That does not sound like Bob Dylan. That is 100% John Prine. His voice was not perfect, which made his music more perfect, if that makes sense. But yeah, anyway, so it was nice. It was nice being back in Central City and stopping by to see these guys. You'll have to ignore my dogs, by the way. I would love to hear anybody else's stories about John Prine. Did anybody ever bump into John Prine on the street or Phil and Don? I know I did see Pete Best was at the concert I went to, Roscoe P. Coltrane. Stopped here, by the way, Sugar and Stems Co. As I drove out of town, very nice lady runs this place. She helped me put together a little basket for my wife for when I got home, and I just wanted to give her a quick tip of the hat. Anyway, Central City, let me know what you think.